We had a packed room, so I don't feel quite as popular as I did last time, but I do feel honored to be here. I am Kim Weinreb. I'm from Olympia Springsport, and Sister T asked me to do this several months ago. Like I told the other class, I wasn't sure if it was inspiration or desperation on her part, but we're going to do it. And we're being filmed, and I'm hoping the electron counts lighter and the counts heavier, they say. I have two kids. They are two different schools, and combined, I usually have to buy about 35 gifts for all the teachers and staff. And I don't know if it's partly guilt, because I feel like I should do something for everybody, or what it is, but I do a lot of gifts, and so that's why I have to find something that's inexpensive but useful. Because I asked a friend who's a teacher, I go, what don't you like to get? And she goes, I have a closet full of lotion and candles. And not that they're not nice, but when you get 30 of them every year, you can have a stockpile. So my first thing is I try to buy something or make something that would be useful for them, and not something that they're going to stick in a closet and not be able to use, or that they're going to have to re-gift at some point. So, also I like to hit like Goodwill or Value Village. Do you guys have a Value Village near you?
No, but tell me what it is. Where is it?
There's
a good thing about
one in Douglasville. They call it a department thrift store. It's pretty much like a Goodwill. It's a little bit nicer than Goodwill. But it's across the street from Kroger on Highway 5. It used to be, I think, a Boys or something.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good place to go, because I like to buy a lot of my glassware, candlesticks and jars and cups and things like that. And do any of you blog? Are there bloggers here, or people who read or do blogs? Not very many. There are probably thousands and thousands of blogs of crafty people. And if you go to one blog, there's usually a list on the side of a bunch of other blogs that, it could go on forever. And there are some really crafty people out there. Most of them are women, I'd say 90%. So there's a few men. But they put out a lot of great stuff, and I am not crafty. I don't scrapbook. It's against my religion. I don't have the space. I don't have the time. I don't have the talent. But I like to get ideas, and if I don't have the tools, people have stuff that I don't know, scrapbooking terms, but if you don't have the tools, then there's no point in doing that project, because you don't want to have to go buy something in order to do it. At least I don't, because I'm on the lazier side. But some of the gift ideas that I've come up with in the last while, I think are easy, and I think they turned out cute, and a lot of them were really cheap. Some of them you can go a little bit higher depending on who you're shopping with. I did a visiting teaching brunch in December, and I had seen these at the mall. There's little sunglass cases. I have to hold them up for the camera. For $1.99. So I just wrapped them up with ribbon, and I gave them to the sisters that I visit teach, because I ruin sunglasses all the time by putting them on my purse and they get scratched up with the keys or whatever. So I think, this is a good little gift idea for any time. And you can see a lot of these plates. You can call them what you want, dessert plates. You find your plates wherever you want if you shop at the Value Village. Most of mine are at Marshall's, because I think they have a good selection. And then these are candlestick holders, and you get some magic glue, and voila, you have a cheap and expensive gift. There's some more over here. And what I've seen lately, the bowls are new that I've seen, so I did a couple of those, whether you put a dip, but I've seen people putting them in your bathroom, and then you can put your jewelry on them, or whatever you want, soap, a candle, whatever you think.
What is magic?
I think it's called E3000 or E6000, one of those thousands. Or Gorilla Glue, people do stuff. And some helpful tips, which I already ruined one the other day because I wasn't thinking, and I didn't bring it. You want to make sure the surface of the plate is flat, because I bought one to make one for this, and there's like a little ridge that you can't, there's no way you can glue it. So make sure that it's a flat surface. And then the candlesticks were like 40 cents at Value Village. I just go and kind of collect them as I see them, and then when I need to make something, then I have it. Simple, easy, useful. You could put some cookies or candy on it and deliver it as part of your food gift. And also part of, I have to get a ruler because, this one is not even, and so I just say it has character. But you want to kind of, because you have to find the center of the plate, and it's hard to, it's really hard to get the center. So just do your best. Once the glue is on, you can move it a little bit, but once it dries, it's pretty much not going anywhere. I mean, if it does, then certainly just re-glue it.
Does it dry very fast?
I let it at least go 24 hours. Still make them a day or two ahead of time, depending on how often you how soon you want to get it. But the people, and I just talked to a lady in the other class. She's like, I throw all my candlesticks away because I think you get so many that people are just giving them away, getting rid of them. But you can go buy them and make a cute little gift for a friend. And then for the double ones, I just did this for the first time the other day. The candlestick is upside down because you want to have as much room as possible down here. Or you can just make a set. You could just make two of this, a similar pattern.
Where did you buy the candlesticks again?
Either Value Village or Goodwill. The dollar store does sell the plain crystal ones, but a lot of them, they're not even. They're all a little slipped. And you don't want to be too slippery on that. And the other thing is, I just totally lost the other thing. I'll come back to it. And usually the plates at Marshall's anyways, where I buy a lot of them, are like $2.99 for the smaller ones. They could be $3.99 for the bigger ones. And that's, you can go to antique stores, but they're, if they're antique, they're going to cost you more. But they are very pretty. And I meant to bring it because I was going to do it. But you can also take a teacup. If you have a teacup set with a cup and saucer, if you turn the cup over so that the mouth is facing, on the bottom, you can glue the saucer face up on top of the teacup, and then you could use a little candle on it. And I meant to bring one, and I just remembered and I didn't. So there's a lot of things you can do with glue. And they're inexpensive. It can be more expensive if you decide to buy an expensive plate, but you really don't need to. You could do plastic, For my daughter's baptism, Kroger had their big fall plates. They're like a burgundy and a green and a cream colored. They kind of have leaves kind of etched in it. And I just did 3 different sizes, and that's what I used to serve muffins on at her baptism. Something simple and easy, and then you can give them away. So that's a really, I think that's been a fun gift. I've given a couple away.
You put it in the box and wrap?
She brings muffins on it.
You could probably wrap a ribbon. I just kind of put in a bag because it's hard to find a box, and it's such a cumbersome piece, or just give it. So those are a lot of the things I have done recently. The other thing on blogs, a lot of people will do free printables, and whoever hasn't visited, I'm gonna, down here it says if you want to have information about the class, you need to email. So I'll put together a little list of the blogs that I usually visit, and once you go to one, you have access to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So a lot of people offer free printables. This one happens to be a friend of mine in Utah. She made a printable for a family home evening chart. And this is a simple one. You would just get your dry erase marker, the glasses on there, and you can just put in the initials of whoever's in charge or write their name small. And the frame is $3. You could find one cheaper, I'm sure. But the printable, just printed it on cardstock. I did have to trim it down a little bit unless you buy a document-sized frame because they're a little different. But this is kind of a fun, easy gift. You could include a little treat, if you want to give it as a gift to somebody with a little dry erase.
Goodwill has lots and lots and lots of frames.
Yes, they do. And you know what? The magic of Goodwill is you can spray paint anything. Like I found this. It was dirty, cream colored, and I just spray painted it up, and you can spray paint anything to change it up. Another idea that I saw online is a menu board, and I don't know, I am a terrible shopper, and I'm a terrible planner. So I saw these, and I made one for my friend, because at 5 o'clock every night, I'm like, oh, what should I make for dinner? So this way, if you have a list of meals that you like to cook, and you could at least put them on, and you could see it every day, remind yourself that you're going to have to go to the store. But I have a vinyl cutting machine, which I'm really excited about. And so I just typed up the words, and cut it out on the vinyl, and then I put it on this, which is a 12 by 12, and the problem with it, I don't know if it's a problem or not, it doesn't have anything to hang it from, there's no stand. But you could glue some ribbon on it, you could just, lean it on your counter, or however you want to do it. But you can replace this paper every month if you want to, for the holidays, it could be hearts for Valentine's. And this is a fun way to kind of help, at least me, I'm not organized, to be organized a little bit, at least in one area of my life.
You're not giving yourself any credit, this is beautiful.
Well, thank you. I have some goals that I'm working on, anyway. My grandma died last November, and right before we flew out to Utah, I'm like, oh, I have this great idea. I'm gonna go find hankies and have her initials embroidered on it to give it to my aunts who have been taking care of her. So I ran around like a mad woman to different antique stores because I didn't want just the plain, white with the lace that's like this thick around it. And so I found some hankies, and I couldn't get it embroidered here because we were leaving, but I found somebody new to embroider it. You can find pretty little hankies, and it doesn't have to be for a funeral, but it could be for a bride, and just have their initials embroidered on it. It's a nice little gift. And when the funeral home brought her up in the casket, they're like, oh, we forgot a hanky. She always had a hanky. And I happened to, one got ruined, so they had to make an extra one, so I had an extra one that was buried with my grandmother, which I thought was really nice. And so these I got at an antique store for $1 a piece in Florida. And you could just wrap it up. They're just nice little gifts, I think. If it's for a funeral or for a bride or for just a friend. Nobody's hanky anymore. I think we need to bring it back. Now for Christmas, for some of the many teachers that I have to buy for, I made some of these chalkboard coasters. So I went to Lowe's and I got the tiles for 38 cents, and they were black. You can get plain white for 16, but if you don't want to take the time like I did. So I bought a can of chalkboard spray paint at Hobby Lobby. I think it was $7.99 for the can. And I just laid probably 60 of them out on the table, and I just sprayed them all with chalkboard paint. 2 coats. And then you have to rub them with chalk, and then you wipe them off, and then you can just write on them. So I just put believe in Santa or peace or ho ho ho. That was for Christmas. And then just tied it up with a ribbon with a piece of chalk, and then I did glue some little corkboard on the back so that they don't slide around. So that's kind of fun, and again, useful gift that you can give to somebody. I found these at Ross. Does anyone love Ross like I do?
I do.
Okay, good. It's my mother's ship. Yes, I call it my boyfriend, him and Marshall. So they had these in a little bin for $3.99, which is a little expensive. But I actually saw them recently, something similar at Walgreens for $2. But it's like a little wallet. If you're, you can just slide a little bit of cash or credit card or driver's license, put in your back pocket. And they're kind of fun and a cute gift. And somebody commented, well, look, these are all good gifts, but what about for men? I just don't buy any gifts for men. But I said, oh wait, I have chocolate sauce, and that could be for a man. This was on. Does anyone read Pioneer Woman Cooks?
I do.
You just love it. Anyway, PioneerWomanCooks.com. She's the best. She had this homemade chocolate milk mix, and it can be a little bit more expensive, probably about $3 maybe. And I bought nicer chocolate. I bought Ghirardelli's, and you mix 4 ounces of, just cut it up into pieces, the chocolate, and then a cup of heavy cream. So you heat up your cream, and then you put your chocolate in, stir it up till it melts, and you put it in these cute little squeeze bottles, which were from Joann's. And I just told Tag says, you deserve chocolate, because everyone deserves chocolate, right? And that would be fine for a guy, because guys like to eat. And so that's just kind of a, if you want to give it to a food person, that's pretty easy. For Valentine's, my son's school, they don't allow candy, because most of the kids are on the autism spectrum. They're on kind of special diets. So, and I don't want to give candy to the teachers, because then the kids see that, and it just would cause chaos. So I made bath salts. And those were cheap and easy to make. You get some Epsom salts, some baking soda. There was something else.